Okay, so this is Pluto, and he is a coming 7-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding. He's owned by one of my clients. Good boy. And of course, as soon as I start talking, he gets slow. Good boy. Good boy, Pluto. He's owned by one of my clients, and I ride him twice a week, and then she takes a weekly lesson on him. And he's been here now for a few months. We've been doing that. I actually took a video of him a month or so ago, so some of you may have seen him then. And my camera cut out before we were able to show much of the trot, so I'm going to try and focus on some trot work today. We've been working on the lateral work, and so we'll take him through all of that. I'll do a little bit of trot and canter to warm him up first. He's been walking around for a while here, and so I'll just start to put him together. I like to walk him on a long rein and let him stretch first, and then start to pick him up in the walk, making sure that he stays forward. Sometimes he tends to get a little stuck when you first pick him up. Good boy. So I just wake him up a little, get him quick off my leg. Good job, Pluto. And then come back to that walk again. I like to do some bending both directions when I warm him up, really emphasizing getting him off my inside leg into my outside rein. We're doing lots of work with that walk, trot, and canter. So just good boy, reminding him of that in the warm-up. Getting his shoulder to turn really well. In this direction, I always think about straightening his neck. He likes to twist his neck a little bit in too far when he's going to the left. Really getting him straight on the outside rein. And getting him to bend, and then often warm him up with some leg yield in the walk. Again, that helps emphasize that idea of getting off my inside leg, moving into my outside rein, that the outside rein can keep him straight, and to regulate his shoulder, good boy, that he doesn't go out to the wall too quickly in his front end, but that I can get his hind legs to step across. Just keeping him focused when he wants to look outside, maybe a little bit of shoulder in here in the walk, keeping his attention on me, giving him a project. Good boy. And then another leg yield here. Good job, Pluto. Sometimes leg yield him away from the wall. Now keeping him straight with my left rein, getting him quick off my right leg. Good boy. Take that into a circle here, make sure he bends well this way. Just all of this suppling, exercising at the beginning of the ride, suppling, straightening, really helps him loosen up. Just tunes him up and reminds him of all of those aids that he's going to need later in the ride. Good boy. In the walk at the beginning, I don't mind if he stretches himself a little bit. We'll pick him up a little bit more than that later. There he fell in against my inside leg when I changed direction. And that outside rein has to be a little easier to turn his shoulder. Good boy. Falls in against the inside leg again there, pushing him out, catching him in that outside rein. Falls in a little bit, pushing him out, just really getting him in between those two aids. And that's going to be the theme through all of his lateral work today. Good boy, Pluto. And now that we've suppled him a little bit in the walk, take him up and do some stretching trot. For those of you who saw his last video, remember our challenge in the stretch trot has been to be able to reach out and not just to curl. There he tries to curl in a little bit too close, kind of in between his knees. And really pushing forward the bit that he feels really light in the contact, but almost too light that he just ducks behind it, curls himself in, that kind of nose to chest feeling, nose between his knees feeling. I want him to be reaching a little bit more forward, pushing himself towards the bit. So lots of changes of direction, lots of suppling, those same aids, good boy, that we emphasized in the walk there. He tries to fall in, get him off my inside leg, really feeling him, able to turn him from my outside rein, that connects to his shoulder. I can throw in some smaller circles here, good boy, but overall, slowly, he's starting to get better about reaching forward as he stretches and not just curling down like he wanted to do. Good boy. And I want the feeling that the more that I give my hand, that he reaches forward to it more. But when he tucks himself in so much, I give and the reins just go slack. So suppling and also at the same time keeping him really forward in his trot so that he's always reaching forward to that contact. Good boy. There's better. And there, in moments, he starts to reach out and try to connect to the bit. Good boy. But it is getting much better than it used to be. He's starting to get the idea. Again, making sure that I can turn his shoulder. Good boy. That's better, Pluto. Might take him on a little bit of a warm-up leg yield here. Really nice, easy quarter line leg yield out towards the wall. Good boy. That actually helped connect him a little bit more to the bit. And again, he looks outside, just turn him, keep his focus in here, give him something else to think about. Again, a nice, easy quarter line leg yield out to the wall. Good boy. Helps him reach a little bit more. When I get home, I'll compare his video from last month in his stretch. I think that he's come a long way in pushing out a little bit more towards the bit. So it's an ongoing project for him. Just do a couple leg yields the other direction. Always like to give them a nice stretching warm up. Give them that time to loosen up. Good boy. Really important for the rest of the ride that he has time to come out, stretch himself out, get all his muscles moving. And nice easy leg yield this way. This way he almost tries to take over a little too much with his front end going sideways. So it's a little bit of my outside rein telling him, hold on, not quite that much out with your shoulder. But again, that helps him feel more connected to my hand. As we go sideways there, I feel him reach for the bit a little bit more. Good job, bud. And we'll see if we can do a little stretch in the canter here too. Again, just nice, easy warm up for him, letting him stretch everything out. Good boy, a little behind my leg in that transition. And that's where we lost that stretch, that he came back behind me, had to kind of propel himself into it a little bit with his neck because he wasn't pushing into it as much. Good boy. This starts to feel looser in the canter itself. Turn, 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 Pluto. Turn, good boy. That's where my outside rein doesn't work quite well enough. Good job, buddy. And again, just physically, some nice loosening time for him. Good boy. And we'll do a little bit of that same thing the other way, and then we'll actually put him to work. Here he cuts against my inside leg, pushing him out again, helps him reach a little bit more. Hopefully we can be a little more forward on this upward transition this time. Still kind of paused for a second. Won't stress about that too much here in the warm-up. We'll tune those up in a minute. Good boy. That's better, Pluto. Just letting him move through his body, stretch, canter. Oh, come on, bud. He gets upset about the hair touching his ears sometimes. Good boy. Gets a little bit stuck in that downward transition too. Now that he's had some stretching time, I'll start to pick him up here. Dear rat. Just giving him a job, something to focus on, other than the hair tickling him. Gets a little bit pushing through me there. Just kind of a feeling of almost walking, getting him to come back, come a little bit lighter in my hand. Then we go forward again. Good boy. And let's see a couple trot canters now, see if we can be a little more forward about that, tune that up a little. Good boy. Minus the head shake, it felt a little more forward. A little forward and back in the canter is good for him too. Good boy. Starting to get more adjustable. Good boy. Good boy. Good, Pluto. Good boy. Been working on the downward transitions to the trot, trying to keep those really forward too. He likes to kind of fall down into it, thinking it's brake mode. A little bump from my leg there. Still just a hair more behind my leg than I'd like that to be. Dear heart. Same thing there. When he stays a little more forward, he'll keep pushing over his top line, stay a little rounder. That was a little better. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That one got a little crooked again. His tendency to curl himself a little bit to the inside, but he kept up the forward energy better. Good boy. And again, just straightening him a little on the outside rein and go a little forward and back. Good boy. Good boy. That's it, buddy. Good boy. Good job, bud. And bring him back. Good job, Pluto. If he doesn't come back quite as far as I would like, turn him into a circle here. Good boy, good boy. Helps him think about shifting his balance back to make that circle. Sometimes we go the whole wall. Sometimes I bring him back. Whoop. partway along, because he's not always expecting that, like there. Here we just go part of the wall, bring him back a little bit. Good. And again. Whoop. It's okay, Pluto. Good boy. Bring him back. And again, that smaller circle. Just that he's always really maneuverable. Easy to turn that shoulder. Helps him keep thinking about keeping it up so that it is maneuverable. His hair drives him crazy. Little shoulder in feeling here, give him a project. Yeah, that's more important than your hair. Go boy, go boy, go boy. Really good, Pluto. Shoulder in the canter has been a new project for us. So he hasn't been doing that too long. That was very good. Getting a lot easier for him to hold the angle on that. Just do a little bit of canter this way and then we'll give him a nice break. Actually, I'm just gonna give him a quick rest now. Check my recording here. Last time I tried to make one of these, I had trouble with the voice part of it. Let me just make sure I'm actually recording this. Good boy. Such a smart, fun horse to work with. Really just tries his heart out. Yep, so far so good. Good boy, Pluto. Ooh. I gave him a little bit of a break there while I was checking that recording. Now I'll put him back together again. We'll do a little bit of canter to the right, and then we'll take him through his trot lateral work. Here I pick him up, he tries to drift a little bit in off the wall. Little right leg pushes him back over again. Good boy, Pluto. Not quite quick enough for that trot. Push him a little forward. We'll come back and do that one again. Sometimes it takes him one or two after he's had a break. Just need the feeling that you can pick up the reins, ask them to go, and they're right there ready to work again. Much better that time. Good boy. That's why I just love this guy. Barely have to get after him at all, and then he goes, okay, I'm going. Doesn't take very much at all to get him focused again. Nope, that's plenty, Pluto. It's okay. Rather have too much of an answer than not enough answer, though. I don't mind that he jumps into the canter there. Good boy. Rather have that than him ignoring me entirely when I ask him to trot. Good boy, Pluto. And then because we got him a little bit jazzed up there, easier to get him into the canter, keeps himself rounder. Now it's just a little bit harder than I'd like to turn his shoulder here, so I'm just bringing that circle in a little bit. Also, if he can balance himself a little better, get his ears up, lift his front end and his shoulders up. Good boy. That's going to make it easier for him to turn his shoulder. Now again, he gets himself a little bit coasting up that wall. Doesn't give me that maneuverability in his shoulder. Good boy. This direction's a little harder for him to bring that shoulder up and around. Good boy. Good boy. Just getting that reaction from my outside rein that I can turn, turn him in good, and then making sure I go really soft in both my reins, that he gets that release. Good boy. That we're not just pulling on each other. I feel like I'm dragging him around that circle. Get him, good boy, to react and turn, and then really nice and light. Lots of smaller circles here. Good, good, good boy. But he has to be willing to make that circle himself so that it doesn't feel heavy. Good boy. And then when I get him turning, a little forward and back in the canter. But he has to keep turning, Pluto. Good boy, that's better. Bring him back again. Again, that shifting his balance back, trying to, good boy, trying to lift his front end, making it, good boy, more maneuverable. That's where you see he has just a little bit of a harder time this way. Good. And in that lengthening there, he gets himself a little crooked in the same way. Again, wanting his shoulders to fall to the outside. Good boy. So I think just a little bit of a shoulder force sort of feeling as we go forward. And always feeling like I can, good boy, turn him into a circle and then really lighten, that he holds that himself. Little forward, bring him back, and a circle. Gets heavy, turn, 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 and lighten, and that he'll hold that circle. And that's more than I would normally lighten for him, but just to show that there's that moment of resistance there, where it's, good boy, a little heavy in that outside rein, trying to bring him around, but then right away, good boy, that's better, Pluto. Now he's thinking about a circle, and he holds himself straighter, and it's easier to make that turn. Just, good boy. And there I lighten more like the amount that I would normally lighten. I want to stay connected to him, but I don't want him heavy hanging on that outside rein. Good boy. Come down and do a little bit of his trot work. Like testing his leg yield, making it a little bit more challenging for him now. Trying to take him all the way across the arena. There you can see his haunches just trailed a little bit. Try that one again. Just gonna switch my whip over to that side. Good boy. Changes of direction are always a good place to reinforce those inside leg and outside rein aids. And again, in the leg yield, same thing. Inside leg pushes him over, keeping him right on that line. Good boy. Little taps behind, bringing that inside hind leg with him. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Good job, Pluto. Like to mix up the lateral work with a little forward and back. Make sure he doesn't get too stuck. Go a little forward there, and we'll try a little shoulder in. Good boy. Tries to fall off the wall there. Again, gets a little distracted outside. Push him a little forward into that corner. Little shoulder in again, just always keeping his brain engaged when it wanders outside the arena. Good boy. Bump him off my inside leg and then relax it. Just like the rein aid, I want to use it and then get rid of it and have him do his own job, listening to my seat, keeping that shoulder in angle. Good boy. Little bump off my leg and then quiet, letting him hold it. When it feels a little bit difficult and he loses the angle, turning him into a circle again. Turn your shoulder off my outside rein. Just that little reminder. And then going right back into it. Good boy. Feels much lighter in my outside rein. And then again, making sure that the lateral work doesn't get him too slow and tight. So we go a little forward. Good boy. Working at making those bigger. Good job, buddy. Now, haunches in is a challenge for him. Haven't tried really asking for it with much bend yet. Just trying to make it easier for him to get that angle. Sometimes coming down to the walk for a couple steps. Good boy. Getting the angle back. Good job, bud. And then, come on, you can do it. Trying to talk him back into the trot. Now, I wasn't happy with the end of that. Good boy. So we'll stick with it through the short side. Good. I don't want to end it just because the arena ends if I'm not quite happy with it. Good boy. That's it. I know. Not that much. Good boy. There you go. Gave me a little too much angle and got himself a little stuck. That's plenty. Good. You're okay. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That's better, Pluto. Good boy. Good boy. Just give him a little break here on a circle. A little forward. Good boy. Make that even a little bigger. And then bring him back, and we'll try that just one more time on this side, since it is a little difficult for him. Good boy. Much happier with how he went into that one. Good. 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 Good boy. Still not effortless by any means, but that's a positive struggle there. Just needs to get stronger at it, a little more balanced at it. Change direction here. Got a little quick as we changed. Just bring him back and rebalance. Often like to do serpentines as a way to change direction. Good boy. Gets a couple extra changes of bend in there. Now we'll start over this way. Little leg yield first. Now this way, his shoulders lead a little too much. I'm just going to turn him left. Make sure I can get his shoulder to turn. And then we'll go right back to finishing that. Good boy. There you see he's a lot more parallel to the wall. Waits a lot more with his shoulder. Tries to run through me a little at the end. So I just finished that with a circle. Good job, Pluto. And we'll try that same thing here. Good boy. And he gets a little bit running sideways through my shoulder, through my outside rein. Turn him into a circle, emphasizing that the outside rein means turn. In the leg yield, it means wait. Good boy. Better. Good job, Pluto. I wound up doing that the same direction I was before. Got myself all twisted up. Now we're going to go this way. Good boy. A couple leg yields off my right leg. Little shoulder and hunches in this way. Good job, buddy. Gets a little bit heavy in that. Making sure I can throw in a walk transition, keep going sideways, right back up to the trot. And that walk transition just helps him balance and make sure he's not running through my hand. And then if he falls out, turning him onto the circle to catch his shoulder. Good boy. Feels much lighter there. And we finish that leg yield. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Pluto. Sometimes I might surprise him by switching from one direction to the other as soon as he thinks he knows where we're going. Good boy. Also helps keep his shoulders nice and mobile. There, he falls a little too much through my outside rein. Make sure we can turn to the right. Good boy. Good boy. Good job, buddy. And then we get a little bit stuck here. Do a little bit of a lengthening on this side. Good boy. Get that energy back. Try a little shoulder in this way. This direction is harder. Has a little bit of a harder time picking that shoulder up and moving it this way. Good boy. Oop, kind of falls off the wall there. Starts to lose the angle. Starts to take a little bit too much of my outside rein. He gets heavy, kind of hanging on it. I can hold him in the angle, but I don't want to hold him in the angle. I want him to do that himself. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Took him on a circle there, and then the last few steps of that were much softer. And a circle here, same idea. Just getting that feeling that I can really easily pick up his shoulders, move them into the inside. Sometimes a walk transition in this. Good boy. Then it's the convincing him he can go back to the trot again. Good boy. Good boy, good boy, good boy. That's it, buddy. Much lighter there. Won't make him hold up the whole arena. Take him a little forward. Add that energy back in. We'll do just a couple haunches in this way, and then we'll leave him on that. Haunches in is a little easier this way than the other direction. Good boy. Still not really asking for the bend yet until it feels just a little easier to keep the trot and hold that angle. Whoop. Falling off the wall here. Good boy. That's it. That's it. Good boy. Good boy. That's it. Good boy. Good boy. Couple steps of that here again. Not quite enough angle as I wanted. Gave him a little tap at the end, got a little more. Good boy, good boy. There you go. That's easier. Good boy. Okay. One nice push forward. And we'll let him stretch. I think he's getting a little tired. Good job, Pluto. Here again, just helping him reach forward to the contact. But he feels more connected now than he did at the beginning of the ride. More willing to reach to me. falls against the inside leg there. Same thing, pushing him out. Good boy. And just a nice cool down stretch for him.